Welcome. This is Jason Moss, the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance and Manufacturing News Network. Today, we're kicking off a really great day. This is the kickoff event for the Manufacturing Success in Georgia book tour. And I'm really excited today. We just got through doing a factory tour in Savannah, Georgia with our friends at Lummus. And we toured Lummus several years ago, and there's been a lot of great changes and updates to the company. And I'd like to introduce you to a couple folks that helped us coordinate this tour and give us some insights about the history of cotton gins in Georgia and what's going on in the space. So, what I'd like to do again, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason Moss. I'm the founder of the Georgia Manufacturing Alliance, and our organization is designed to help support and grow manufacturing throughout the state. Today we have with us a great friend of us, and this is Ross Rutherford. And Ross is the Vice President for Lummus Corporation for Project Management and Marketing. And glad to have Ross with us. He conducted the majority of their tour today. And also, beside Ross, we have Richard, and I want to make sure I get this pronunciation right.
Radunzel.
Richard Radunzel. And Richard is the operations manager here at Lummus in Georgia. And if I can get any of that wrong, hey, man, we're live. We're just going to roll with it. I'm really excited about being able to sit down with you guys today and talk a little bit about what's going on as far as manufacturing in Georgia. And what we'd like to do is have you kick it off a little bit, Ross. Actually, if you'll tell us a little bit about who is Lummus. How long have you guys been around, and what is it that you do? Give us a little more details on that.
Well, Lummus has a legacy that dates back to 1863 when Franklin Hadley Lummus founded the Lummus Company in Columbus, Georgia. And through the years, we relocated to Juniper, Georgia, then back to Columbus for nearly 100 years, and then relocated Lummus Industries, which was a successor company to the Franklin Hadley Lummus Company. Went into bankruptcy in 1992, and our current ownership purchased those assets out of bankruptcy, and we relocated in 1999 to Savannah, to be near the port, because a large amount of our product is shipped worldwide, and so being next to a port made a logistical sense. We moved into the Savannah Business Park, the Crossroads Business Park, and then in 2011 relocated to our current location at Bourne Boulevard. We've got product in just about where any cotton is grown around the world: Australia, Brazil, of course, the U.S., India, the French-speaking West Africa, and a lot of other areas. We've ventured into Uzbekistan, so we've had a very history existence in cotton, and the chances are, if you're wearing something made of cotton, it's very likely it possibly passed through a Lummus machine.
Nice. So you guys manufacture and have been manufacturing cotton gins for a long, long time. I'll hop over to Richard, ask you a couple, tell us a little bit about what's going on right now. You're in the operation side of it, in production. Tell us what kind of production, how many machines do you guys do on a annual basis, roughly? I mean, what does it look like now?
Okay, so not unlike your book and a new chapter, we are starting a new chapter here in Savannah, Lummus, with the implementation of lean manufacturing and systems.
Okay.
And so, Lummus has a great history, a lot of pride, a lot of passion for what they do. And so, but with that comes sometimes resistance to change. And so we've got to change a few things. And we've got a great group of people. And we're going to we have kicked that off. Now, okay. I've just been with Lummus now 7-8 weeks. So we're kicking that off. And so we're going to build on that legacy of really great people with a lot of pride and a lot of knowledge and a lot of commitment.
Okay.
So that's what we're up to right now. And overall, in a year's business, I have to be honest, I'm not that versed on how many we're going to do in a full year, but I know that we can do several nice pieces a week.
Nice. Well, I tell you, it's really cool to be able to see the production facility. You know, we have the opportunity with GMA to tour all different types of manufacturing facilities, from mom and pop machine shops all the way to Gulfstream and Kia and Caterpillar to be able to. That's part of what we do as an organization is we take industry professionals and give them the opportunity to see world-class manufacturing like they got to see today on the tour of y'all's facility, so that they can take those best practices and learn from those things and be more efficient, be better at what they do. Being able to do benchmarking with other companies is something that executive leaders tell me all the time is one of the most beneficial things that they can do. A lot of people ask, when I tell folks that we've toured everything from King's Hawaiian dinner rolls to Gulfstream, they say, well, what does a dinner roll have to do with a multi-million-dollar business aircraft? Well, it's all manufacturing. It's converting a raw good into a finished product using the machine. Today, we got to see some really interesting fabrication and steel fabrication, and the technology is just amazing. I tell you, it was really cool to be able to see the processes, the design for manufacturing, and the thought that went in to y'all's operation and how you actually manufacture and fabricate parts for the ease of manufacturing. I don't think I've ever seen anything as well thought out and as efficient as what we got to see today. And I tell you, it takes a lot of work. Being able to be lean is a big piece, but having that forethought to be able to make the investment into the people and in the process for it to be long term. And Ross, tell me a little bit. You and I talked a little bit pre-show about what was going on the longevity of the company, having that mindset. Share with us a little bit about why Lummus has been around so long. Give us a little bit about that mindset that y'all have corporately.
Well, part of what Richard discussed is this industry can be resistant to change. With any technological change, you've got basically 5 categories. You got innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. And we've got to try to capitalize and do business with all those spectrum of people. Sometimes that nut is a tough one to crack. As likewise with what Richard's talking about with manufacturing. Finding ways, it's not wrong, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just throwing up. If it makes us better, and that's what we've had to do. It would have been very easy 20 years ago when we first relocated to Savannah to not rethink how we manufacture our machines and our piece parts and continue to do them the same old way. Well, that's the way we've always done it, and that mindset is pretty much a death sentence in most businesses. You have to redefine, you have to refine your designs. And that's what with young engineers coming in, new and innovative products and the new and innovative fabrication techniques, that allows us to use less raw materials so we can buy in bulk. So because with costs going the way they've gone over the past year, steel prices anywhere from 20 to 80% increase depending on the commodity. Structural steel, 80% increase over the last year. All our gen plants, those machines have to be supported. So anything we can do to reduce cost, minimize the number of raw materials, less to manage, more efficiency, opportunities for, as Richard talked about, lean production.
Yeah, I love that. I love that for sure. And Richard, let's talk a little bit about some of the careers here. I tell you, there's, one of the things, I have the opportunity to travel across the state and talk to manufacturers of all different kinds. And one of the pieces that I consistently hear, and Ross, you mentioned it, was material costs, supply chain. Those are two things that are a big issue. Sales is another, business development is another big area, but probably the most common challenge that I see, or the biggest issues that we hear out there is workforce. So tell us a little bit about maybe some of the careers that are available. I know that there's a lot of people, and I want to take a step back and say, okay, well, kind of where we're at as far as the society. A lot of folks were displaced, and during COVID, there was some challenges with folks being displaced. The hospitality industry, I don't know that's ever going to come back to quite where it was. The restaurant industry, there's a retail, there's a lot of people saying that the retail stores, that's changed. A lot of us have gone online, but, and there's some really great talent that's on the street today, or that's going to begin to look now that, the unemployment things have kind of changed up a little bit. what kind of careers are available in manufacturing? A lot of times folks think, well, all I'm going to be doing is running a machine all day, but tell us a little bit about some of the other careers that folks might not think about in manufacturing.
Well, a couple of things. Here at Lummus, we've got a really nice workforce
Mic up. Pull the mic up just a little tighter.
that
There you go.
is
All right, perfect.
probably been here 5 to 8 years,
Okay.
and they consider this their home,
Okay.
and they're super dedicated, great folks. What we want to do is have new folks coming in and we want to help them generate that same type of enthusiasm and that type of wanting to be here long term and make a nice career of it. And so when we talk about jobs, starting with our metal processing, which is where it all starts out, we've got some very nice and late model laser machinery, some great press brake machinery, all late model machines. And then we go into our welding. And here at Lummus, it's not just welding. You're a fabricator. You have to be able to read drawings. You have to be able to make things fit properly. So you have to be able to, be a fabricator almost before you're a welder. So it keeps it very, very interesting. And it's not let's say, a repetitive production weld. Mm-hmm. They weld different things every day. So it's a really interesting and it's a really nice career here because, again, welding is one of our staples in our manufacturing process here. And then we have our assembly technicians. And here again, when you're assembling the multitude of machines that we have, you have to know quite a bit. And so here again, we want to take these new hires and cross-train them so that they become very valuable to us. And they have some really great skill sets in the assembly of multiple kinds of machineries. So we have, again, we have our metal processing, laser, press brakes, welding, and then into our assembly and the test arena. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, our shipping and receiving. We got a huge inventory here, a huge spare parts. So there's lots of shipping and receiving opportunities also.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm often amazed by when you talk to kids in middle school, high school, even college. I was invited not long ago to speak at a group at Kennesaw, and I asked the group, how many manufacturers do you think there's in the state of Georgia? Now these are students that were getting ready to graduate about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it was a great group of students. And I said, so how many manufacturers do you think we have in Georgia? One young lady was brave enough to raise her hand. She said, I think we got probably at least 10 or 12. And I was like, any other takers? Any other guys? Yeah. And it kind of cycled up from there. We got to 10 or 12 to 50. And one person bold enough to say, I think we probably have 300 or 400. Surely we got 300 or 400 manufacturers. Now, these are students getting ready to go into the workforce, right? And they're thinking the most anybody in the room came up with, I think, was about 400. And believe it, we've got over 10,000 manufacturing facilities in the state of Georgia. Over 10,000 manufacturing facilities, 440,000 people every day go to work in the manufacturing space in our state, which is cool. But the average consumer can't name 3 things that are made here. So that's part of the reason that we're doing this book tour. It's part of the reason that we actually wrote this book. We talked a little bit about it. This is the book that we're showcasing on this tour. This is a book near and dear to my heart. This thing is fresh off the press. I wrote this with Diane Dent Wilcox, and she was an English teacher in Middle Georgia at the military college in Middle Georgia. So hats off to Miss Diane to help me put this thing together. But it tells the history again from Eli Whitney and the Cotton Gin to the latest and greatest Gulfstream, from the Ford Model T to the Kia Telluride. And there's so many great stories and people that make manufacturing happen, like you guys. You guys every day you're able to. We couldn't have the clothes that we got on today if it wasn't for people, dedicated, quality folks that are doing good work in the space. We just couldn't do it without you guys. And my hat's off to you and the teams that you have here. I love being around really smart people and seeing how they come up with solutions to tough problems that I would never in a million years come up with, and seeing the innovation and seeing the passion that you guys have for what you do here. man, it is just fascinating to be able to be part of that. I definitely want to thank you guys both for taking your time to be with us today and be part of this book kickoff. And Ross, if there's something that you'd share with folks that are thinking about a career in manufacturing, share with us a little bit about your history. What would you tell somebody that was considering manufacturing as a potential career path?
Well, certainly, Lummus. One of the things I like about Lummus is they'll allow you to use any and all talents that you have. My education is in agricultural engineering, and I started in the field and worked my way up through field technical service, then into design engineering, and then back into sales and marketing and product management. But it's marrying up how you market the product, how you design the product, what the end user needs, and then you dovetail that into, we've had some of the guys that I went to school with that worked in various things. You recall Duncan McCook a couple of years ago. Duncan McCook had the same education I did. He worked for cotton ginning companies, and then he worked for manufacturers like Lummus, and he ended up heading up in manufacturing. So we all ended up in different areas of the company. But when it comes to manufacturing per se, Richard really hit the nail on the head in that we are looking for more. We don't produce 5,000 of something at a time. We may sell 20 gin stands, 40 feeders, and a variety of the different machines each year. We don't sell 5,000 gin stands or 10,000 feeders. And so we have those guys in assembly have to deal with all the different types of machines, cylinder cleaners, extractor cleaners, everything big to small.
Right.
And then we've got the sheet metal fabrication, and we need those people. The impetus is, oh, everybody needs to go to college. Well, trade schools are a critical part of that. You don't necessarily need a college degree, but a trade school, tech school degree is absolutely necessary to have an educated workforce. We see that in the cotton gins themselves. Gins can't hire quality crews. In these bigger, higher capacity plants, they need people that are capable of working on the more sophisticated machinery, maybe less of them, but they need to be better educated and more technically savvy.
Yeah. Now, are you guys looking for, have you got some openings now at Lummus here in Savannah? Are you looking to hire some folks?
We do have guys. There's sheet metal workers, assemblers, things like that. We've got. We'll provide you certainly with all that information. And then long term, in the September, October time frame, we're looking possibly for a hydraulics engineer, manufacturing engineers, a variety of different roles. And it will go up and down. It depends on what the trend. If someone gets another opportunity, goes somewhere. Richard's right. I've been with Lummus 35 years. It is not a way to get a paycheck. It is a vocation.
Right.
We want to instill that passion in our employee base. Perfect. We are family.
Yep.
We want it long term, and that commitment to quality, to these guys that can do fabrication. We want craftsmen. And it's not just building the product, it's servicing the product. Everything we do goes into taking care of those customers.
Yeah, I could really tell it today. Again, we get to go in and you get different vibes or different feels of different environments that you go into, and you could really tell the family environment and just the energy of the people and the employees. Everybody from the receptionist all the way through to everybody that we talked to out on the floor, you could tell that it was a great place to work, and it seemed like a family environment. And you don't get that in every industry. So
correct.
Really appreciate you sharing that with us. And Richard, tell us a little bit about, again, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you guys, what's your website for the? Is it?
Yes, www.lummus.com.
Okay, lummus.com. Okay.
Yep. And just one more thing too, we talk about careers in manufacturing with the emphasis there's been on reshoring here in the last couple of years.
Yep.
It just is creating a lot of nice opportunity for people. As Ross had mentioned, a great 2-year tech school type folks are really going to have a leg up in this type of environment.
Mhm.
And so
Indeed.
again, with the reshoring emphasis, great time to be looking at these manufacturing opportunities as a person coming out of school in tech school.
Perfect. Well, that sounds great. Well, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody joining us live online today. We do have this simulcast both on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, and we're going to be doing these tours all around the state. So we'd really encourage you to go to GeorgiaManufacturingAlliance.com, take a look at the upcoming events schedule. Some of the visits that we're going to be doing, we're planning to do a stop on Tuesdays and on Thursdays of each week. Some of the facilities we're going to are open to do tours, and some of them we're just going to be doing interviews of folks that are on site. So kind of keep an eye on that. There is registration for any open public tours. You do have to register to attend. But watch us here online. Feel free to pass this video around and share it with other folks. If you have an interest in learning what's made in Georgia, this is an easy way to do it. And get out there and find out what's just around the corner. I mean, I am fascinated. I've been doing this for in this capacity for almost 14 years now, and I am continually amazed to find new products that I'd never heard of made right here in our backyard. So it's been another great day at GMA. We'd encourage you to go out there and take a look. We'll make one more shameless plug. If you hadn't got one, go to manufacturingsuccessingeorgia.com. You can order a book to learn about the history of manufacturing throughout Georgia. And we look forward to seeing you guys at upcoming events. Have a great day.